The news of a diplomatic row brewing between Nigeria and the United Kingdom following the rearrest of proscribed IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. Arise News has obtained exclusive video of Kanu during his arraignment, and our investigations reveal that Nigeria is concerned about the circumstances under which Kanu was able to obtain a British passport that enabled him to travel internationally. And this is because both his Nigerian and British passports were deposited with the Nigerian court as part of his bail conditions. And questions are being raised about the role of the British government in the saga and the possibility of being an accessory to Kanu jumping bail. And contacted by our sister publication This Day, officials of the British High Commission in Nigeria say they're waiting for details from their home government.
Well, security sources confirm that the possession of a British passport enabled Kanu to travel internationally, mobilizing funds to arm the Eastern Security Network (ESN), which is accused of killing more than 100 people, including police and military officers. Kanu is also said to maintain a lavish lifestyle. According to sources, he was arrested wearing a designer suit valued at about $10,000. Arise News sources disclosed that Kanu's arrest followed directives from President Muhammadu Buhari to the Department of State Service (DSS) and the National Intelligence Agency (NIA) to track and arrest him. The president asked that he be provided confidential weekly briefings. Kanu is said to have been arrested in Addis Ababa before he could travel back to the UK. And the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra says no harm must be done to their leader Nnamdi Kanu. Well, the group is alleging that Kanu was kidnapped by the agents of the government and is promising to expose details of his abduction. It says it will not be intimidated into backing out of the struggle despite the arrest of its leader.
All right, for more on this, let's turn to Pelumi Olajengbesi, principal partner, Law Corridor, and Somna Samboa, political editor in our offsite studio, will be joining us shortly. We'll start first with Olajengbesi right here in the studio. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You'll be giving us the legal perspective and help us really understand this. Help us understand what the law, the Nigerian law, says about trial in Nigeria of a British citizen who is also Nigerian, of course in the case of Nnamdi Kanu, and was arrested outside Nigeria and brought to Nigeria to stand trial. Is there any legal process or proceeding on this issue?
Yeah, there are legal implications and legal procedure to carry out such an arrest or such prosecution when you have such a situation like we have in Nnamdi Kanu. Now, the thing is that you will recall that Nnamdi Kanu was actually going through trial before he escaped from the country. And it means that he was granted bail, and later he escaped and jumped the bail. But the essential thing now is that he has been returned back to the country. Ordinarily, for you to bring Nnamdi back to the country from wherever he is, there are certain procedures that must be followed. But if you look at the circumstances of the information we have available in the press and all of that, we understand that he was arrested on Sunday and he was returned same Sunday to Nigeria. It is not possible for the Nigerian government under any law to successfully get anybody extradited back to Nigeria within 2 days. Because if you look at the UK law, as per extradition, there are procedures. Nigeria as a country falls under the category 2 type B of countries and such countries in that category, before you can take someone who has committed a crime in your own country from the United Kingdom, there are certain procedures you must follow. And the procedure has to do with arrest of the person by the UK government, and there must be proper extradition trial, what they call extradition hearing. There's a pre-hearing and the proper hearing. And in a case that has to do with a country like Nigeria or other countries within the category 2 type B, such a country must show a prima facie evidence that the particular crime alleged that has been committed was actually committed. So, but there are some other countries who have stronger relationship with the United Kingdom that even without a prima facie evidence, you can just approach them and they do the hearing processes. Because also, the law also require under the extradition law of the United Kingdom that the person who is about to be extradited must be asked question. He must consent to the process, and if he's not consenting to the process, the extradition hearing must be properly done in an open court. So there is no way the Nigerian government can successfully carry out that process without taking like a month, 2 months, 3 months, and it has to be in public domain.
The fact is, based on what we're getting, that he was actually arrested in Ethiopia.
Not UK.
And, and not the UK. So would this apply in the case where he was arrested outside of the UK?
Yep. If he was arrested maybe in Ethiopia, or probably someone even said today, this evening, that he was probably arrested in Kenya. Now, the fact is that if you are in another country and you are about to be taken by another country into another country, now he got into Kenya with what international passport? If he got into Kenya with the British international passport, it means that when he's in Kenya or when he was in Ethiopia, he was actually a British citizen visiting that country. So it means that before the Kenya government, regardless of the nature of relationship, even
I think we're talking about Ethiopia, not even Kenya.
Okay, no, I mean, I'm saying that some news report claimed Kenya.
Some even say Brazil.
Yeah,
so,
okay,
there's so many.
Let's say, okay, Addis Ababa,
let's
Ethiopia, like we're saying, before you can get Nnamdi Kanu, before you can repatriate him, before you can bring him down to Nigeria, the procedure also must be followed.
Okay,
because
well, that's more of that. We need to get to Somna.
All right, our political editor joins us now, Somna Samba. Somna, glad to have you join us. Let's look at this. UK is finally speaking up, saying Nnamdi Kanu was not extradited from its country. How is all this going to impact Nigeria-British relationship?
Thank you so much, Andy. This is a very challenging period for the relations between Nigeria and the United Kingdom, because Nigeria feels that the UK has not living up to the diplomatic relations that is existing between both countries, because the information that Arise News is getting right now is that the federal government is calling to question how Nnamdi Kanu was able to leave this country without any assistance from the British High Commission in Nigeria. And if he left with a passport, at what point in time was he issued a passport? Was he issued a passport right in here within the country? And how did he leave the country? And from all of this, the information available at the moment is very sketchy. But I can tell you that the Nigerian government is very, very angry at what has been happening, especially with the recent information that was rolled out by the British authorities, saying that IPOB members could actually apply for, immunity. They could actually apply to the UK, and then they will be given an opportunity to actually seek for political asylum. And in trying to seek for that political asylum, the UK authorities had outlined these processes. And in that processes, they mentioned that IPOB members could seek for political asylum because they are facing persecution. And since the uproar that greeted that guidelines rolled out by the British authorities, the British authorities immediately withdrew that. But it sent a signal, and the Nigerian authorities are not questioning if indeed the British High Commission did not in one way or the other support Nnamdi Kanu's exit out of the country. Well, these are the questions that may have to be answered, and the next steps may have to be maybe the foreign authorities, foreign ministry actually summoning the British High Commissioner to Nigeria to answer more on these issues. Because Nnamdi Kanu would have left to these foreign countries with a British passport or some British documents to support his exit. So the federal government is asking questions on this, and it's left to be seen if the British High Commissioner will be summoned to provide answers to whatever information that the federal government has.
So now, very quickly before we let you go, going by the profile of this case, I mean, this is a major, all eyes are on this case to see how the Nigerian government will, handle it. Do you think the judiciary has the capacity to effectively manage this kind of high-profile, political case?
Yeah, the judiciary can do that in Nigeria, and you must also know that the judiciary is part of government, it's an arm of government, and they have duty to ensure that things like this are addressed. So I believe strongly that the judiciary can address it. I know there are two issues we're talking about here. The trial is a different thing entirely, and I mean the process of bringing him back for the trial is also a different thing. If you get to court, it does not matter the means through which he was gotten back to the country or through which he was brought to court, but what's essential is that he has to face his trial clearly according to the law. But what is also important, not just for the judiciary, is of course the federal government, is that they must understand the sensitivity of this issue. Because looking at what he just said now and looking at some of the recent development, I am very, very sure that certain issues in international law will generate as a result of the process of his return to the country and of course the process of him leaving the country.
All right, let me ask you this. What considerations will the court give in the event of an application for bail from his defense counsel? Of course, we're talking about the fact that he jumped bail.
Yeah. No, it's not likely he can get any bail opportunity again, because he has been given bail opportunity. For you to, when a person jumps bail and he returns to court, I mean, he has lost his freedom pending trial. However, if he can provide reasonable explanation why he had to jump the bail, then the court may probably consider it. But then you need to look at the condition for the bail. The condition for the bail essentially is not about him being available in court alone. The condition for the bail also, he was told not to stay in gathering beyond 10, which he actually breached anyway. And you must take note that a bail granted by court is actually an order of court, and anyone who breaches or who jumps bail has actually committed contempt of court.
Well,
so it is actually a new narration.
He did say that he fled Nigeria to save his life because his home was stormed. Thank you so much, Pelumi Olajengbesi, for joining us.